Hey everybody, welcome to Everything's Plastic. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Hasbro Marvel Legends, and this is the Infinity Saga, Captain Marvel, and Rescue. This is from the MCU movie Avengers Endgame, which in my opinion was one of the best MCU or Marvel films to date. I love how all the movies came together to one final climactic event. Marvel Studios has definitely got his work cut out for him if you want to top Endgame. Alright, so on the top here we have Avengers Endgame, Captain Marvel, Rescue Armor, and on this side we have a continuation of the image on the other side, barcode and all that good stuff on the bottom. And on the back here we have Rescue, Captain Marvel. Quick little read up for Captain Marvel. It says, Captain Marvel uses her incredible powers to battle evil in the ultimate fight for the fate of the universe. And on the other side here for Rescue we have, outfitted with repulsors and a unibeam, Pepper's rescue suit is ready to step into battle against Thanos. Sounds awesome. Love the image on the back here. Brings back such good memories. I love all the MCU films. But yeah, that's pretty much it for packaging. Before we crack this one open, I want to thank my buddy Jason for bringing me this 2-pack. Jason was nice enough to offer this one up, drop it off to me so I can do a review on it. So once again, Jason, thank you. I appreciate it. Your kindness goes a long ways. That's pretty much it. We'll be right back with Captain Marvel and Rescue outside of the package. Okay everybody, we are back and we have Captain Marvel and Rescue out of the package. Alright, for accessories, these come with a lot of accessories. So we'll start with Captain Marvel. She comes with the Infinity Gauntlet or the Nano Gauntlet, whatever you want to call it. Pretty cool detail on this one. I like the overall design. See that it's actually hollow on the inside, so you can actually slip this on if you really wanted to, which is a pretty cool feature. She also comes with 2 open hands, 2 palm hands, 2 of these kind of waving hands, whatever you want to call it. And in the package she comes with 2 fisted hands. For Rescue comes with 2 fisted hands, and that's all we're getting for hands, but she does come with a few extra head sculpts. First on the list is this open faced one, which is a kind of cool concept and a cool design. Man, did he ever mess up this face sculpt. Does not look like Gwyneth Paltrow at all, not even close. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this head sculpt at all. But like I said, it is a cool design. From the side, from a distance, it looks pretty cool. Paint application on this one is pretty decent. Then we have a full closed helmet, which is pretty cool. I actually really like this one. This one looks fantastic. And we have these blaster effects that we've seen with most Iron Man figures and a lot of other cool figures from Marvel Legends. And here we have her repulsor, or can't remember what this is called. I should have looked it up before I started the review. But we actually had the exact same piece with the original Rescue. And if you guys are unaware, these flaps actually open up. Now the only difference with this one and the previous version is it actually comes with these little nano wings, or whatever you want to call it. This flap here actually comes off, and it comes off pretty easy. Just kind of lift up and gently pull off, and we can see the little notches on the top here fit down in between. I'm not going to actually do it with this one because this is not my figure. I don't want to break his figure, and I don't want to take the risk because these are actually really soft, really flimsy plastic, and these little joints here too are really soft and flimsy. But that being said, I'll still give you guys a closer look though. These are pretty cool detail, pretty cool design in these. Like I said, it's articulated right here, so it goes back and forth, and you can kind of move those flaps around whatever way you want to. And like I said, there is a little bit of detail in behind those as well. But yeah, just pop them off. Be very, very careful. I recommend actually taking these off too, like so, and then kind of place it in so that you're not breaking any clips or anything like that. And these kind of just pop on nice and easy as well. But yeah, I'm always nervous with other people's figures, so we'll just leave it at that. Hopefully you guys don't mind too much. Alright, let's get a closer look at Captain Marvel. The face sculpt on this one is not too bad actually. I think they did a pretty decent job. To be completely honest, I don't think the likeness is there. It does resemble Brie Larson just a tad, but I don't think it's the best head sculpt that we ever seen. That being said though, it's still a nice looking Captain Marvel figure. I like the overall design of the suit. I think they did an awesome job on that. Paint application on this one is nice and clean as well. So before I move on to Rescue, I'm just going to go over articulation with this one. So our head goes back this far, down this far. You get a little bit side to side, obviously. You get a full rotation. Arm comes up this far. Not really restricted by this little flap here on her suit. It's pretty soft and doesn't restrict articulation at all. So our arm goes up this far, goes all the way around. There's no bicep swivel or anything like that. There's a rotation area as well. Single jointed pinless elbows, which are great. And for her wrist, it goes all the way around, and it actually goes back and forth for all 6 hands. There's a ball joint at the upper torso there. That goes back this far, forward this far, so pretty restricted going forward, side to side, and you do get a full rotation as well, which is fantastic. The lower body is all one piece, so you don't get any added articulation there, which I'm kind of okay with. It's not that big of a deal right now. Most of the articulation that you're going to want is in the upper body anyways. Alright, for her legs, goes out to not quite a complete split, probably halfway there. Goes forward this far, back this far. You have upper thigh cut, and you have double jointed pin knees. These joints are actually really nice on this one. Really smooth joints. I like it. No boot cut or anything like that. For ankles, it goes back this far, forward this far, and you do get a full rotation there as well. So pretty decent articulation, pretty average for any female character. I wish we had double jointed elbows as opposed to single jointed ones, but yeah. Her sash going around is pretty cool, but yeah, overall, a nice looking Captain Marvel figure. Then we got on to Rescue, and like the previous head sculpt, I do not think this looks like Gwyneth Paltrow at all. That being said though, it's still a nice looking head sculpt. I do like the overall design of the head sculpt. I think her hair looks pretty cool. They do have some highlights in there, if my camera actually focuses on it. But yeah, the overall cleanness of the face, like her eyebrows, her eyes, lips, and all that stuff is painted nice and clean. We get down to the suit. Paint application on the suit is pretty nice as well. Love all the details, love all the accessories, love all the details on the back there as well. We can see a lot of detail in the sculpt of this one. I really like the previous version, but I think this one is just a tad bit better. I like the paint application, and they did darken up the gold or dark silver paint there. It's hard to tell what kind of color it actually is. The previous version almost looks like kind of gold. I'll do a comparison after we do articulation. Alright, so let's go over articulation. Now, obviously the ponytail on this one is going to restrict articulation a little bit, but it goes back this far, forward this far. There is no side to side, but you do get a full rotation. For her shoulder, shoulder goes up this far. Obviously it's going to be restricted. She is in an Iron Man suit or rescue suit, whatever you want to call it. Those go all the way around. There's a full rotation there. There's a bicep swivel, and she has double jointed elbows as well. And for her wrist, the wrist goes back and forth. It is going to be restricted by this part of her suit though. You're not going to get any movement back. You're going to get a little bit movement forward, and you can still manage a full rotation there. This one's pretty stiff. Even though it was heated up, still a little bit stiff. For the torso, there is a ball joint up here too. We don't have any articulation on the lower part of the waist, just like Captain Marvel, but it goes back this far, which is a pretty decent range of motion. Goes forward this far, restricted just like Captain Marvel. Those go side to side, and you get your full rotation there as well. For the legs come out this far, forward this far, back this far. You do have double jointed pin knees as well, which you get a fantastic range of motion out of. And for the ankles, it goes back this far, forward this far, and you get your full rotation. So no boot cut or anything like that with this one. So pretty standard articulation. I think Hasbro do kind of lack on their female characters, their female figures, just a little bit. This one, even though it looks nice, it kind of feels a little bit cheap. I'm kind of scared going over articulation with this one. I'm glad that part of the review is over and done. I'm not going to switch out the hands on Captain Marvel, but I will switch out the hands on, or I will switch out the head, sorry, on Rescue. We can put this one on, give you guys a closer look at that, but overall I don't really think it looks that great. Just go over articulation with the actual helmet on. It goes back this far, down this far, so you get awesome range of motion. You can actually look up like that when you're flying. Yeah, not too bad at all. Alright, we also put on this part here as well. Kind of got the flaps out when she's flying. It's kind of weird, like there's no hands or anything for these blast effects. They do go into the feet, which if you have a flight stand is pretty good. Does look pretty cool. I do have a flight stand buried somewhere amongst all my garbage, but yeah, does look pretty cool, man. You can do some pretty cool stuff with this one. And these pieces, like I said, I'm not going to pop them in, but if you did, they're going to kind of look like this, and you can kind of move them out, play around with them, whatever you want to do. So not a whole lot of differences. We do see that this one is more of a gold color. This is more like a bronze. I do like the white arc reactor as opposed to the blue one. I think that looks a bit better. But if I had to pick a version, I'd definitely go with the newer version. It does have a bit more of a blue appearance. This one is kind of purple. That still looks nice. I think the new updated version looks a lot better. But yeah, there you have it. If anybody is curious about the older version of Pepper Potts, like I previously mentioned about the head sculpts, this is an older figure, but man, does that ever look like Gwyneth Paltrow. I think they did a fantastic job on this. Older figure, better head sculpt, more likeness to Gwyneth Paltrow, and just overall a nice looking head sculpt. Let's see if this one actually pops on to the rescue body. Oh yeah. So if you wanted to put on the old Pepper Potts head sculpt, it actually fits on there. She has a very long neck. That's one of the main gripes about this figure, even with the other head sculpts as well. I mean, obviously this one's not made for a figure anyway, so you're going to have an extra long head. But yeah, it does fit on if you want to pop it on. Even with the helmeted head on, you can see that the neck is super long on this one. Still looks cool, but proportions are way off. We could do a few comparisons if you want, just to a few older versions of Captain Marvel. Here we have the classic comic design. Most of these are all the same size anyways, but I love this figure. I don't know what it is. I think the head sculpt looks fantastic on this one. Love the hair. This is definitely one of my favorite Captain Marvel figures. Do have another version of Captain Marvel as well, which this one I think is the binary version, which is a pretty cool concept. Not my favorite figure in my collection by any means, but still pretty cool. I think I got this one pretty cheap anyway, so not going to complain about having a cheap figure. Whether I want the figure or not, if I can get it for a cheap price, I'll definitely pick it up. But yeah, we see how much the costume changed. Then we have another version of Captain Marvel or Carol Danvers, and we see that the costume has changed quite a bit. That being said though, I do like the original design. A lot more detail in the older design, but the new one looks very nice as well. Love the red and the blue with gold trims. Looks fantastic. Alright guys, so that pretty much wraps up our unboxing and figure review. If I had to rate these figures individually, I think I would give Captain Marvel an 8 out of 10. Nothing really to complain about with this one. Paint application is fine. I mean, the articulation is fine. Nothing really stands out that's a major flop with this one. So I think overall it's a pretty average figure. I think it's pretty good for what it is, so I think an 8 out of 10 is pretty decent for this one. As for Rescue with the helmet on, I think she looks fantastic. Awesome looking figure, tons of detail, wicked paint application on this one, tons of accessories. They did give us 2 extra head sculpts, like I said. Does not resemble Gwyneth Paltrow at all, but it's still cool to have 2 extra head sculpts. So I think an 8.5 out of 10 for the MCU version of Rescue. So as a box set, I think 8.5 is a good overall average for these 2 figures. Highly recommended if you're a fan of the MCU, if you're a fan of Endgame. I think they did an awesome job, and gotta admit, man, they would look pretty cool in your collection. Let me know in the comments below what you think of our review, what do you think of these figures, and what do you think of our overall score of 8.5 out of 10. If you liked the review, don't forget, hit that like button, give us a thumbs up, and hit that subscribe button as well. We love to hear from you in the comments below. As always, we hope you enjoyed this review, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Keep collecting, stay safe, go buy some toys.